life. This is a little vlog. I just wanted to showcase like realistic reading, going to book club, just doing cute bookish things, probably doing a mini book unhaul and going to one of the local bookstores here and then seeing what else I can find there. So we're gonna be doing that over the next few days. Yeah, today is Sunday and tomorrow I have the day off. It's a long weekend, so I just felt like it would be the perfect timing. I am currently reading 2 different things. These are my current reads and I am very, very happy about them. Tomorrow times 3, because I'm a little bit lazy to keep saying tomorrow. Tomorrow times 3 is for my friend's book club. So my friend is hosting her first ever book club. That's on Tuesday, so I'll take you guys there. But we're reading this for it. But the first meeting, we don't actually have to have the book read, but I went ahead and started it because I wasn't reading anything before Magnolia Park's Long Way Home arrived. And this was really good so far. I made it to part 2. So I'm on like page 63, and then of course when I realized that this was here and it was sitting in my driveway for like 2 days after I had been really wanting to read it, I was like, wait, we're gonna pause on that because there's no rush for that, and we're gonna get through this, and then I'll pick up Tomorrow Times 3 again as kind of like a palate cleanser between this and the next Daisy Hates books. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. I'm just gonna showcase like what I would read when I'm not trying to read for a video and like how much I would read. And I think that'd be kind of fun for myself to see because I just recently did reading 200 pages every day for a week and it felt like a lot because that's not normally how much I would read. So it'd be interesting to kind of compare the two, honestly. So we're gonna do that. And the good thing is both of these books are really good. So I just feel like it's not gonna be hard to really get through them. And I'm really pleased with myself because I feel like I'm just understanding my taste better. Like I really love some literary fiction, and some would call this romance, but I've heard some disagreements. I don't think it's like romance, but it's also very it's fiction, contemporary fiction or modern fiction. I don't know, but it's incredible. So yeah, I'm about to go to church and then I will check in with you guys later in the afternoon when I start my reading and all that, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. I hope you guys enjoy the vlog. Okay, I like showing my outfit even if it's nothing like groundbreaking, just because I feel like it's part of vlogging, but I have my hair in a claw clip with some pieces out, which is kind of a new hairstyle I'm trying. This is like a brown kind of very soft crew necky material type sweater with a little bit of a turtleneck type thing. What is this? Is this a double-breasted jacket? Like, I don't know. It's from Forever 21. These are Zara Marine Zara Marine jeans, and I have another pair of these that are like a different material. These look a lot bigger, but they like the other size was a size down and it didn't fit my waist, but it like is a lot more like tailored looking around the legs. So these, I'm getting used to these, but I still like them. And then I'm wearing platform Converse that I don't wear a lot just because I have to wear like long socks with them or else the socks will fall, and sometimes they get heavy, but I like it with this outfit. So there's that. It's a little more like chic, timeless, flouncing around the city vibe. I don't know. I'm trying to get back to like dressing a little bit more chic slowly. Kind of want to get back to it a little bit just because I feel like, I don't know, the hair is the only thing. The little like pieces I left out, I wish they weren't like exactly symmetrical, but they're okay, they're cute. Yeah, I guess I kind of want to get back to dressing like this just a little bit more because I feel like a little bit more put together, and I'm really inspired by like these luxury girls on Instagram, which it's so not me, like the classy luxury like New York City, London vibe. I don't have a reason to dress like that. I literally don't leave my house most of the week because I work here, live here. It's not really realistic for me, but there's something about it that I want to get a little closer to. And this is not, I'm not saying that this is luxury, that this is classy, but it's just a little bit more put together, a little bit more chic, because usually I'm like kind of giving an outdoorsy vibe, very casual, kind of sporty. So yeah, I'm happy with this. And I mean, it's church, so it's a little bit more of an excuse to dress up. I guess what I'm trying to say is this is a little bit different. Ooh, sunglasses. It's not sunny out. Why are the bangs doing that? What? Whoa. can stop it. Let me all live it, baby. I don't know why this is so aesthetic to me. Just some bread and butter and a smoothie. It's the littlest things where you're like, why is that so pleasing to the eye? Oh man, I fixed my bangs a little bit. Oh no. It's gonna have to work for now. Also, we're gonna go to the mall. I forgot about that. I have a return to make and maybe a few purchases. Back from the mall. So I made a return at Hollister, and unfortunately they didn't have the dress that I wanted at all. So I don't know if I'm gonna reorder it, honestly, because I don't even know that the small would fit. The way that the top half was, it kind of flared out, and I don't know if that's the design or the size, but I have a feeling it would also do that in the small size, and I just don't know if it's gonna look kind of strange. But I did end up going to Garage, and I got 3 new tops, so I'll show you guys those. And I also got annotating tabs from Amazon, and they came within the day. I ordered them yesterday because for some reason I couldn't find annotating tabs anywhere. I had gone to Target, and I went to this cool bookstore near where I live called like Koya. I don't know what it's called. I think it's like a Japanese bookstore, honestly. They had like a lot of manga and anime. They had some regular fiction and all that stuff, and nonfiction. But they had a lot of like cool stationery and stuff. I thought I was gonna find annotating tabs there, but I didn't. I ordered them off Amazon and they arrived, so I'm kind of glad that I waited and stuff. And I like how these, I can kind of use them as like a ruler type situation too, to make sure that everything is straight when I go to highlight and underline. That's exciting. I'm gonna match it to my book. When I was reading The Long Way Home, I was like, I really want a tab and stuff. Okay, I can't figure that out. Kind of had like girl lunch. I've been having dairy a little bit because I've been having the Publix buffalo chicken dip, which is fire, but that's the only dairy. Well, that's a lie. I've had a little bit of Parmesan today and yesterday too. Those are the only things of dairy that I've had like in almost like a month and a half. So far my stomach feels fine with just a little bit of the buffalo chicken dip. That was part of my girl lunch, and then another part was like wasa like crisp breads with Calabrian chili oil fig jam. I'm sorry, what? It's so good. And then I put a little bit of Parmesan on it, and I had 2 of those. That was good. That was my lunch. I think I'll have hopefully a more nourishing dinner because we do have a lot of food here at the house. So I'll show you guys the clothes I got from Garage. I don't think I'm gonna try them on. Nah, I'm not gonna try them on. I tried them on at the store. Okay, so first one is this top. Would you call this a mock neck? How do you explain what this is? Because it's kind of a similar vibe to this. Like, it's not a full-on turtleneck, but it's cute. It's like ruched at the sides, gray, fitting. I got a medium in that. Sizes are crazy, guys. I was telling you guys about these jeans earlier, how I had to get an 8 at Zara. First of all, Zara's sizing is different than like other places' sizing. So at most places I'll wear a 4. But then at Zara, I had these in pink in a size 6. So I went there like last week and I got these in a size 6. And I came home and they didn't fit me at all. And Zara doesn't open their fitting room till like a certain time, which is kind of weird. So I couldn't try them on there to even know that, nor would I have actually, because I just would have thought, okay, same jeans, same size. Well, I came home and they were so tight I could barely even close them. And I was like, questioning my entire life, but I was like, no, I literally wore the other ones, the pink ones, like 3 days ago. So then I went back, I returned it, and I got a size 8. But the thing about the size 8 though is that there's some space. So yeah, and the legs themselves are a lot wider and not as fitted. So I'm gonna try to wash them and hopefully that'll do the trick because I really like these. Sizing is crazy. That top's a medium. This top, the reason I say sizing is crazy is because this top's an extra small. Like what? This was like pretty stretchy and it's like a wide neck thing. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna stick with the extra small. I contemplated getting the like just a small and I was like, no, I don't want the neck to be like super wide and stuff. So next one I got was a medium. Oh, okay, thank God. I was like, no. The small was really small. Like super constricting. So this is like a little off the shoulder type of vibe. I'm trying to dress like a little bit different these days. It's kind of challenging. Hang on, let me reposition myself. Trying to kind of switch up my style just a little bit. I'm in that phase where I could literally restart my wardrobe and throw everything out. And I feel like everyone gets like that occasionally, but I'm just feeling really uninspired by my clothes a little bit lately. And I definitely know that I still have a lot of like things in there that I love and that are useful, and I can still make cute outfits out of them. Like I still have fun with that. And I've always tried to be a little bit more on the like minimalist side when it comes to clothes shopping. I don't like to pick up random stuff. If I'm like buying a piece, I'm like, okay, make sure it's like decent quality, make sure I'm gonna use it and all that stuff. I'm just feeling a little bit uninspired, and maybe because my closet is like busting at the seams because it's not that big, I'm just feeling like we need to get rid of everything. But I've just found, like I was saying earlier, I want to start dressing just like slightly more put together. I don't really know the words to describe it. I don't know exactly like what it is that I'm going for. Maybe like slightly more feminine. Like I'm not talking super girly or whatever, but I have always gravitated towards like really comfy, slouchy pieces, and that's fine because that's a big part of my personality. Like I just love comfort, but I love it to the point where like I'll literally forget to put jewelry on. I will forget to put jewelry on. It's so hard for me to remember to put earrings on. As far as clothes go, I have just been like really inspired by like certain girls that I'm seeing on Instagram where it's just like their clothes are gorgeous and look so tailored and so crisp. And of course the color palette is really neutral, which I'm more of like an earth tones girl. I think if I was just black, white, gray, navy, beige and stuff, like I think I could get a little bit bored with that, but there's something really like attractive about that to me where I'm just like, I just want all the same color palette, get my nails done the same color, just know what we're going for. We know what looks good and everything looks tailored and great. And it's really easy. Like nice jewelry, I don't know. It all depends on context in your environment, and like style plays a part in that. Right now, I am in a very comfy spot. I literally live and work at home, and I do some things throughout the week, but those are usually also pretty comfy activities. So I dress comfy and don't like go work in an office and things like that. So to some extent, there's room for me to branch out. Like sometimes when I talk, I feel like I need to be fully understood to be able to stop. Do you guys ever feel like that? So that's how I feel like sometimes I talk more than I need to. Even with friends, I'm like, I'm not fully understood yet. I need to keep going. And then I'm like, no, it's okay. We can stop here. It's okay to not be fully understood. You're fine. The essence of what you wanted to say has come across. I'm gonna dig into The Long Way Home after I change. I'm on page 167. Haven't read it all today. So we'll see where I get by the end of the night. And I will check in at night. I'll check in after I've read. I'm gonna pick out my tabs and we'll get to it. By the looks of it, it's like 5 something. I'm just checking in because now I'm on page 205 of The Long Way Home. The spine is getting bent. I don't mind that. I'm making progress. I started tabbing for the first time. I've never done this before, so we're just seeing how it goes. I'm using this dark blue color and this color right here because I figured that they match the book. This matches like the waves and this matches the darkest part of the background. So I put at the front that the dark blue is for the plot and then the lighter blue is for things that I'm finding funny, and then of course when a quote is really beautiful and moving, I'll underline it. I'm not like highlighting or anything. My tabs are not that complicated. I've seen people on Pinterest have like 6, 7 different tabs and they're like quote, funny, sad, and I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot for me right now. If I ever reread these, I'll probably re-tab and re-annotate just because I feel like I really want these books annotated. I don't know that I'll do that with everything that I read. I think I'll start to do it more just because I like the idea of like the colors matching like the book and things like that. Like I think it's very pleasing to look at kind of having your reading experience be a little bit more like marked out. So like now when I go back and like open this and look, I'm like, oh, that made me laugh. Oh, that was like important to the story. Oh, okay. I'm on page 200. I don't know whether or not I'll keep going tonight. The thing that's funny is obviously the third and final Magnolia Parks perspective book is out, and I want to read it so bad, and I just want to know how the story ends, but I have to like ground myself and remind myself to be in the moment with the book that I'm in, because obviously after this I have the next Daisy Hates book, and then I can get to Into the Dark, and Into the Dark is like 700 pages, and this one, The Long Way Home, is like 520. So it's like either way I have to be patient and not rush, which is really hard because I feel like I have this tendency to want to be like, I just need to know how the story ends without trying to be present in the moment. And I feel like that's become especially harder with like social media, where people are reviewing books and talking about books constantly. I don't know how some booktubers do it, where they're reading book after book after book and they have like 20 books completed in 1 month. I'm just like, that is so much pressure, and I feel like you can't be present with the story, always wanting to get to the next one. And I found that I have that mentality where I'm like, I just want to read the next good book while I'm reading a great book, and I don't want to have that. So this is me telling you, telling the channel, telling myself, my future self, that I think I need to practice being present with a book and being in the story and taking my time with it. The truth is, I don't think I want to read more tonight. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Like, maybe I'll read a little bit more before bed. But if I don't, it's okay. And if this takes me another 4 days to get through, because I mean, I'm pacing pretty good. I started this the night before last. If this takes me another 4 days, then great. If it took me 2 weeks, great. Just be like present with it, you know? Because that's the whole point of a book. Like, it takes time. It's different than a movie. It's different than a show. I mean, obviously you could argue definitely the same thing for shows and movies, but the commitment is so much different, I feel like, with the series. And that's why I don't normally do series, but I have really been loving these books. So that's an interesting practice for me that I have to continue to keep in mind. Even if I'm reading less this year, I actually just decided this a few minutes ago as I was pondering this. Even if I read less this year, if it's books that I love, which I've been saying this, but if it's books that I love and I was patient picking the next read that I want to read, I think I'll have a much better relationship with reading and the stories that I choose. Because I also find, for example, in my Reading 200 Pages book, like I randomly decided to read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. And that's not my thing. When I was reading it, I was like, okay, it's a decently enjoyable experience, but why am I reading this? Because this isn't something that I would normally read. But I don't want that random, let's just read something to read something mentality. I almost want this mentality of like, no, I'm gonna ponder on what my next book is gonna be, because I'm gonna be committed to it for however many hours, however many days, and I want it to be one that I'm actually excited to be invested in. Working through this series has been good, and then I feel like Tomorrow Times 3 is also like, it's gonna be a good read, and I want to stay committed and present to that book. And then after that, I have a few books that I have in mind, but I want to wait maybe a few days before I decide to jump into a new book sometimes, to like make sure it's actually what I want to read. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it makes sense. Let me know how you guys relate to what I just said. I don't know if everyone has that experience, but I feel like now, because books are being so like rapidly consumed, there's this mindset of just read it, just read that, just read that. Like, just try to read everything, and you're never gonna read everything, nor should you want to read everything. The more you understand your taste, you'll probably read less, but you'll probably love your experience so much more. And it's just like a mindful activity after that. Like, you're just like, I'm practicing being in this world, and I'm gonna stay here for a bit, and I'm not gonna worry about being in a world 2 books away. Like, I have to be here now. Anyways, I'm gonna maybe watch YouTube, maybe watch Schitt's Creek. I'm almost done with the rewatch of that. Again, I wasn't present during all of it. Get sidetracked, would get on my phone for it, but I love that show. So I might continue that. Guys, I just love this book. I love the way it looks so far. Silly little things that make me happy. Well, I'll check in with you when I check in with you. howdy. Okay, happy Tuesday. It's my first time checking in today. It's like 3:30. I think what I'm gonna do is, I just got home from everything I just did and that you just saw, but I think I wanna go get some Chick-fil-A fries and treat myself because it's a day off. I'm just having fun today and I'm really feeling some Chick-fil-A fries. So I might take another little, why was I gonna say leave of absence? Like, I might leave my house again and go get some Chick-fil-A fries and then just come right back. But I wanted to quickly talk about what I'm gonna read today, I think. Like, I think this is what I'll do, and I'll check in tomorrow and let you guys know if it actually went that way. But I think I'm gonna read probably just another like 40 pages of The Long Way Home today. Keep tabbing, annotating, all that good stuff. But then I think I'll be tapped out. I need to finish Love Island, actually, too. And then I think tomorrow, I'm gonna read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. That's actually so funny. I think I'm gonna read a few pages of this tomorrow. Nothing crazy, but because book club is tomorrow, even though we don't have to have this read or anything, I just want to kind of like read it a little bit in celebration of my first ever book club with friends that I will be attending. Because I'm just so excited that people are more in the reading era. It's so fun, especially with like friends that you have really good conversations with. When you just throw books in there and you can talk about books, it's just so peachy keen. It's so fun. So that's the game plan. This tomorrow, a little bit more of The Long Way Home today. And I think, so basically I went to a used bookstore that I go to, and they didn't take 2 of my books, which they're good, decent, good quality books. I don't really know why they didn't take them. They're by like good authors too, so I don't really know what was up with that. I don't really know how they decide. And I might take those to my friend's book club along with these bad boys, the original covers, these copies of the Magnolia Park series, just because I feel like, first of all, I feel like it would be cute to just bring a few books and then like hype them up and see if anybody that's attending wants to take some of them, or one or all. I have to think about that though, because I really have no reason to have these. I don't like to have too much stuff accumulating, and I'm not really like a fan of these covers. They're fine. I'm not even really a fan of like these copies in general. Like, now that I have seen the original covers, which I will show you right now, I mean, they're like gorgeous, and the paper is like so thick and pleasing to read with. Like, the experience is just so much better reading with these. So I just really have no reason to have those original covers, I think. But I gotta think about it, because obviously I spent my money on it, but yeah, they're already a little bit beat up. Like, they just weren't really produced very well, I don't think. And I take good care of my things. I take good care of my books, but they got beat up so fast. I don't really understand. But that's my game plan for the day. That's my game plan for the day. Also, I am getting a lot better at giving myself a blowout with the round brush, and I am digging it. It's solving so many of my problems. When I started making videos, I noticed that when I would just do my straight hair that I had been used to doing for years, like, my hair was so piecey, and I was like, this isn't really a good look. Like, what? And I've been walking around like that for several years, and I guess I just didn't want to like learn how to blow up my hair, or had in the past, and it just wasn't working out. Now I'm like, okay, let's be intentional. Let's try to round brush my hair. And I've been digging it. I've been digging the look. It's solving all my problems, because I only wash my hair like every 5 or 6 days. However long I can kind of take it, because my hair is pretty like dry and fine. It doesn't get oily, so it can last a while. And basically, it's solving all my problems, because I can have this blowout look for like 2 days, and then the next 2 to 3 days I can just do some simple waves that I do to give it that more casual look. Well, it's not really casual, but to just still like add something, add more volume, add a style to it. And then by the time that's kind of fading and starting to look a little bit, not necessarily greasy, but just like piecey, maybe a little bit oily, I can wash it and then just repeat the process. And it just solves so much of my problems. Like, I just feel so flouncy, and it just feels, I don't know. I love it. I'm wearing a black hoodie, so you can't tell as much, I feel like, but I'm digging it. It did the little curls on the end. Looks great. Okay, y'all. So I'll check in with you tomorrow, let you know how reading today went let you know how reading tomorrow goes. And I'll take you to book club with me. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Not me wanting to cry my eyes out because the girl at Chick-fil-A who took my order was literally so cute and kind and sweet that I've never wanted to tear up from an interaction before. Tuesday. Today is a book club, so nothing crazy to report. I actually haven't read today. I've been working all day, and it's 5 o'clock now. Book club's not till 6:30, and I'm not gonna leave my house till 6. I think probably not gonna read today at all, but that's the point of this vlog. It's meant to be realistic, but I did tab or like outline what I want to tab in Tomorrow Times 3. I put plot or like shocking twist or like foreshadowing or whatever, emotional and heartfelt, love and friendship, which could kind of be emotional and heartfelt. It was kind of tricky to lay these out before reading the book. And then funny, because this book is already has some funny parts to it. I will bring the book to book club, and maybe one day, not in this video, but I think maybe one day I'll do like a what's in my book club bag, or like what's in my book shopping bag. I don't know, something cute like that. I saw Nikel from Nikel's Nook do that, and I thought that was a really good idea. Oh my goodness, it's literally all the time. You can hear my mom scolding him in the back. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in my bag. I always use like the same one for like bookish activities. It's kind of like my go-to tote. It's this gridded tote from Baggu. And right now I have some shoes in there that I'm going to give to one of my friends. I'm actually giving away those platform gray Converses that I always talk about well, I don't always talk about them, but I did talk about them at the beginning of this video. And I think I brought them up in another video too once before. I'm going to get rid of them because I'm not comfortable walking in them, but I know some people don't mind them. So hopefully my friend will have better luck with them. Because I wanted them to have a good home before I just gave it to Goodwill or something, because they're in pretty good condition. So I've barely worn them. I've had them for a while, but really not worn them a lot. Okay, see you guys at book club. Yay. Bye.